everybody, and welcome back to our new form of a podcast that I'm working with the rest of the Library of Games crew. I am here with Vinyl and Ursa and Mike. Say hi, guys.
Yo,
Oh,
hello, I am Vinyl.
I am Mike the Apple.
Ursa.
Love the enthusiasm. Love it. All right. So, we're going to be continuing a conversation we originally scrapped was, all right, our thoughts about E3 and the video game industry as a whole right now. So at the time of this recording, this has been roughly like a few days after the full E3 press conference and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we should just kind of go one by one on how we feel about certain companies. Usually I would say like, Nintendo's are one we will not like really stop talking about, so let's just leave that for last. Let's talk about like the first order of like how things are. Let's go with Ubisoft. So, how did you guys feel about that presentation? I think me and Mike were the only ones who really watched it fully.
Yeah.
Rabbit is cool.
It was so
That's
mediocre, I
really
don't
it.
remember it.
Well, no.
Oh.
A lot of what I remember was a lot of like the Rainbow Six games. I think it was Rainbow Six Extraction.
Not surprised.
No, and I think like I've only played Siege. I don't know too much about like PvP and stuff like that, but like this just looks like a straight up zombie mode, or I guess
It's
alien invasion.
supposedly I think it's a continuation to like a previous event in that game. At least one of my friends told me, but
People like that mode, by the way.
yeah, that's also one thing.
Well, no, here's the thing: it's like there's two perspectives I can look on Extraction, where you could view it as like a DLC where old players are just returning to and they're really excited for it. But then there's also a new demographic of just new players that they want to entice. I guess from here we're going to be speaking from that perspective because I'm assuming none of us have played the previous games prior. And I think it was. I honestly thought it was a really cool experience, really cool presentation. I'm actually really excited for it. I feel like that's like out of all the Rainbow Six games, aside from Siege, I actually feel like it's gonna be a fun co-op game to really try out. So I'm willing to give it a shot. I hope everyone else is. Next one would have to be, I guess, them trying to teach guitars with Rocksmith Plus.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, good for them who wants to know how to play guitar. I mean, that's fair, but to me, it didn't look like it would be an Ubisoft thing. I don't know.
Okay, see, this is where you're wrong. I actually feel like that is exactly the type of Ubisoft thing because it is it just felt like a giant ad.
I guess.
I am the Rocksmith.
Well, no,
I am music.
as for those who don't know me, I tend to have like a very strong musical background, and I think it's kind of cool to kind of have an educational tool. However, I did not think it was a good enough place to reveal that on E3 of all times, because I just kind of felt like it was a little. It lasted too long.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just it kind of came and went. Thought it was cool. Didn't like how it was like a giant chunk of the presentation. Didn't really enjoy it. And then, aside from that, we have everyone's favorite Just Dance. That game will never die.
It's not on Wii, so it's disappointing.
I'd say I expected more out of it.
Ain't that something?
But no, I think it will continuously be on. It's a game I think it's never going to go away, and we just kind of get tired of it. It's everyone's favorite game.
Is it though?
Unfortunately.
Is it really?
Yeah, we can just skip forward a lot through Ubisoft because like their presentation was very gimmicky and commercial-esque because it wasn't really entertaining at all. I kind of felt bored throughout most of it because they even showed like I think like an ad for like a live TV show in a video game conference of all times.
Oh,
I forgot.
Yeah, no, that's how bad it is. I literally didn't really remember much, so that's what ended up happening. Another thing that kind of, however, with all like the badness aside from future DLC from Assassin's Creed, and then like a dirt bike version of Steep. If you guys, it was like you're like racing in mountains and stuff like that.
I thought that was a pretty cool concept. But if it's like, I want to say it's like you're talking about it's like Fall Guys sort of, but it's with like realistic stuff. I don't know. Like you're racing against like 100 people and try to fight your way to the end or something. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting to see. Forgot what it was called though. But
Ah, no, that's completely fair. But no, and then I think no one really cared until like the very last moment of it where they finally revealed like Mario and Rabbids sequel.
Oh yeah.
I
That
like
was
that
leaked
shadow. I like that
That
prior.
and
shadow.
their
I like
that and their what was it? Their assistive audio.
I don't know.
like
I thought it was kind of cool because I felt like I get a lot of flack for this, but I constantly think it's one of the best Switch games out there.
I like that Shadow the Hedgehog's in it.
Very funny, very funny. It's
Or
very
whatever,
Imagine if
or
they
Wild
made
Style.
Sonic and
No, Shadow the
Rabbids.
Hedgehog or Wild Style.
Why them two? Why them two specifically?
Because they got streaks in their hair.
Okay.
Eh.
Cool story.
Anywho,
But that's enough for Ubisoft. I think next one would be Square Enix. Square Enix, okay.
disappointing.
Square Enix had like a very 50-50 thing.
It was mostly Marvel. That's really what it should have been.
Hey, okay. For Marvel though, at least it wasn't a focus on a ton on the Avengers.
I saw
Yeah,
They didn't do anything. I don't think
saw a
it talked about
post.
it.
I saw a post a while ago that was like an article that said Square Enix Avengers is the first game ever to reach 0 people online.
Oh yeah. That was like
Ouch.
the day of their presentation or something. Like no one was on that time.
Double ouch.
But they're still putting support to it, I guess. But
Hey, Ubisoft, not Ubisoft. Hey, Square Enix, maybe you should focus on something else, shouldn't you?
I don't know. I think I love the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I think it was handled pretty well. I think the only critique it's getting a lot is like it's not like the Marvel Cinematic Universe type actors.
yeah.
I will say I don't care much about Avengers or Marvel or much other than Spider-Man, but that Star-Lord really freaked me out.
Well, no, I think it was like them trying to replace the actors.
It was, but it still shocked me. He had like some weird, like he had like a okay. I don't remember exactly how he looked,
Some
but
people
from what
said
I
he looked like
picture,
Jake
from what
Paul.
I remember in my head, he was like a white-haired Johnny Bravo.
That's actually a
You
good
know
Yeah,
what?
description.
that's a pretty
Got him.
accurate statement.
Yeah.
And I think he even did. I think he even like messed with his hair in the mirror. He was like, "Oh yeah." I don't know. I swear to God, he did that when we saw it.
Compared to Chris Pratt, it's just nothing. Like
Yeah.
No, and I'm just appalled that for like a 35-minute event, it was 20 minutes. That's how much they showed this game.
Yeah.
yeah.
They didn't really show much. And then I think the rest of the time it showed more DLC for the Avengers game, which I'm shocked that game is still alive.
Right? Like, why are they even still supporting it?
Because they're
Because
that
they
desperate.
have no more money and they have to like really hope.
They
Square
gotta do
Enix to
something.
me is the pinnacle of desperate.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
They spent a lot of the money in the RP. It's fine. Okay. Then I think the next part would be really there wasn't really much for Square. Like a lot of the games weren't really shown as much.
They briefly showed like the Final Fantasy games. Like they did announce like the first 6 to be re-released or something on
Weren't they already on that
Steam
platform though?
and mobile. Yeah, that's the problem. Like I think they're already on there. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Make it more better or for some reason. I have no idea.
More
But
better.
yes, but
Yeah, I didn't feel like there was much support. And then although
More
the
booter.
near end, I think there was a much better game, and it was like the new game from Koei Tecmo.
oh yeah, everyone keeps memeing about it like chaos or something. Like I don't know. And like I think the
Ow.
protagonist or something, like he just looks generic really for like a Final Fantasy character. But I mean that's just me. I don't know.
No, I think it's a good like change of pace. I think
Mhm.
it could change with the formula and kind of keep people held down until Final Fantasy 16 comes out.
They briefly showed it, but just for like 3 seconds, and it was it wasn't a montage, which was really disappointing. But oh well.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get more news later in the year, hopefully.
But as you can tell, we didn't really care much for Square and Ubisoft. They kind of failed a lot.
Yeah, they kind of dropped the ball.
Okay, well, who did it worse, Capcom or Square Enix?
Capcom.
Okay.
Yeah,
Capcom.
No,
Okay, I'm not
no,
even gonna. I don't even want to talk about Capcom because
They
Capcom
didn't
didn't even
really
show
do
anything.
anything. Yeah.
Capcom be like, don't worry, kid. We're working on stuff.
We're
No.
making games.
All
The,
they
okay,
it's like
the
it's like
only
don't
good
worry,
thing
we have
about
DLC. We have
yeah,
DLC for
yeah,
Resident Evil 8. That's it. Don't worry.
that's the only good thing about
Don't
it.
worry, kid.
They closed it off with esports, and that really disappointed everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
Is it bad? I was hoping for like a Mega Man collection.
No. I mean,
nah,
there
That would've
already
been
are,
cool.
there
aren't
already
there?
is. Yeah,
I mean, that's another one where instead of just playing 2, just combined it. I don't know.
nah,
Another.
they're not.
People would tell you that was lazy.
Unless they
Yeah.
re-release the old games as like remasters. I don't know,
I
but
What
think
about-
the collection. Okay, I know we're going to tangent. The collection they have is actually a pretty good collection already. So I don't really see how you can improve it.
Fair.
yeah.
Okay. Next thing is like I guess one of the big three, Microsoft. Before even talking about any games, how'd you feel about it?
I thought they did pretty well, honestly. Compared to the other conferences leading up to it, well, definitely before Nintendo, like this, I think Xbox was like the best one so far, and then following up to the other press conferences, then yeah, but I think they did a good job announcing like upcoming games. I guess, well, one game I'm looking forward to for the most part, for me at least, is Forza, because they really showed off what the Xbox Series X is capable of doing. It looks really good for what they did. So I'm curious on how that's going to turn out. But yeah,
What about you, Vino?
that's really what I'm looking forward to.
Sorry about that. How about you, Vino and Ursa?
For Microsoft,
I ain't got much to say about it, honestly.
all I can think of is Starfield.
That too.
I can't
forget
think of anything.
that.
I can't really think of anything.
I forget
Well,
it's
I
a
mean,
joint conference. It's Bethesda
like
and
the one
Xbox.
thing I was worried about
Yeah.
Microsoft is this is their one chance that they needed to be taken seriously for the next generation, because their competition with Nintendo, they don't really see Nintendo as a competition anymore.
Mhm.
As that will probably hurt them in the back. I don't know. But compared to Sony, they're losing, and Sony doesn't have a lot.
They didn't even have a conference.
When have they been winning?
Yeah, right.
They
But-
lost at the 360, dude. They I'll never
Okay.
stop saying this. They peaked there.
yeah, but
I
here's
have
the,
never seen them come ahead of Sony after that.
and here's the thing though. The past 2 years hasn't not even past 2 years, past two E3s have just been Microsoft trying to redeem that side again. Where the first time they announced that, hey, we're realizing we messed up, we bought a bunch of studios, new games are coming. And the year after that, Games Pass started getting integrated into a lot more platforms such as PC, and it's getting more support. And then even for like up until now, this is the first E3 now that they bought Bethesda.
Yep.
That is
And-
true.
And the way they kind of around for it, before you go into like console exclusives, they utilize the one thing that that was up their sleeve, and they use it to the best of their ability. Games Pass. Almost every single game that was announced, which I think was like 27 out of 30, is going to be day one on Games Pass. And this is including a ton of Bethesda games, a ton of Microsoft exclusive games, and just new games coming to PC and console. And I think that just drives a huge incentive. Because like I as someone who's not a Microsoft owner, I would actually buy like a Series S just to like play Games Pass now. Just for like the deal you're getting. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're doing. I think they're doing well with Game Pass. At least I remember when they first released it. I thought it was pretty much at their peak. So
I mean, okay, because I don't pay attention much to Microsoft, but Hugo constantly gushes about it. So I mean, if he gushes it that much, then I have to believe something at least that Game Pass is good.
It's a new form of subscription service, and I think it's really great, and it's going to be some type of future video games. Even though I'm a physical owner, but I think the way they handle it, perfect. And in terms of exclusives, we finally got more footage on Halo Infinite, more particularly on story based. It looks
the multiplayer
10 times
mode.
better now.
The multiplayer mode, though.
Oh yeah, and then it has a multiplayer mode, which I think was the biggest surprise was it's going to become free to play.
hmm
And I
I
think the
forgot.
fact that they're having a that caliber of a multiplayer game for just anyone can join in, it's going to have a huge incentive for people to come back and join Xbox again. Because I think that's their first priority. Win back the trust of their consumers and being completely pro-consumer. That's the one advantage it has. And I think they took this is their one shot, their last shot, kind of in my opinion, and they took it. And I think at that point they were winning E3 until Nintendo came up.
Hey,
Here's the thing. I think Nintendo. No, that's not true. But in this case, Nintendo easily won.
No, I think
Are we jumping to Nintendo now?
before we even go into the tangent, which is like the obvious Sony.
Yeah.
Sony it wasn't really there, yet it somehow was better than most of these presentations.
they're
Yeah.
indirectly releasing games. Yes.
Ratchet and Clank, what the heck are you doing in my car?
Oh yeah, because that came out roughly the same weekend as E3.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like they kind of took the show there without even actually being at the show.
Yeah, no, and along with also like Final Fantasy VII Integrate.
hmm
I forgot about
I think
that.
they're smart. I do think they should start in being more involved in E3 because their state of plays kind of suck. I think they're
Yeah.
still waiting on more, but it's shocking how most of these E3 conferences were not that good, yet we've had an extra year for them to make stuff.
hmm
And like I wasn't really entertained, and this was entirely virtual. Like I don't know how you can mess that up.
In some ways, I think the crowd enhances it.
Fair,
Yeah.
unless we're gonna have another moment of Bethesda where like people are clapping for NPCs.
But that's
Oh, I remember that.
I mean,
That's
come
so
on, man.
dumb.
Oh man.
It added to it.
Fair, okay. I guess let's talk about the grand finale of it all. It's Nintendo.
Oh yes.
Hey, yo, the big guns.
All right, are we gonna just go in order of like?
I guess let's
announcements?
first off, how do you guys even feel about it?
It was good. I
It
mean,
was the best one of
okay.
E3.
For context, we
opinion.
were all together when we were watching Nintendo E3, and we all lost our minds at some point. So it was a good one.
Yeah.
I know I
For
was
me, it
yelling
wasn't
about
like jaw
Kazuya.
dropping. I wasn't like speechless and just kind of in awe. But I will say it got me some type of hyped for later this year. I was just hoping for other bigger titles, but I can't really complain, really, because I think this is like it got to fill up the rest of the calendar year for what to expect for Nintendo. And I think let's go one by one. Like, what's one project you guys are really into then?
Mario Party Superstars.
I am
Metroid
still.
Dread.
Yeah, Metroid Dread for me too.
All right, let's slow down a bit. Let's go with Ursa's first pick though. For Mario Party Superstars, okay, I was really excited for it because I initially thought it was DLC.
It's not.
I'm kind of bummed that it's its own game because I legitimately expected more.
Yes, and it's a release. I mean, it's a kind of a dumb reason as to why it's DLC, and it's literally because they got rid of mechanics.
Not against it. I just guess I wished for more from the regular Super Mario Party.
It's old boards, so they're going back to the old system, which is, in theory, the best system. Like it was never supposed to change in the first place. But I mean, the way Super Mario Party did it wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't 8 and it wasn't 9 and 10, so it easily won by being that. And but the reason, which I'm not defending it, I'm just stating as to why it's a new game. It's because it's a new system in a way. So they got rid of they got rid of the mechanics of Super Mario Party. So there's no allies. You don't have any special dice off the bat, at least. And you now go through a 1 to 10 dice block now, because the stages are big and are really huge to the point where you kind of need that. And if you have a 1 through 6, you're barely gonna like explore the map in like 10 turns.
Then I'm glad they brought back like more traditional mechanics such as like stars costing 20 coins instead of 10 again.
Yes.
Back again, the fact that you're even using boards again, let alone fan favorite boards, is a great step forward, because I feel like
favorite is not we don't know what exactly other than the two boards. We don't know what other kind of boards there are. Spaceland, I can tell you, guaranteed is fan favorite amongst everyone. I don't know about Peach's birthday cake, and it's Mario Party 1 through 3. So we don't know what the other three boards are. It could
here's
be
the thing.
bad
Based
ones.
on the Nintendo Treehouse, it's actually shown a lot of promise, and a lot of the response was very positive.
Yes.
So I actually think I have a lot of hope for it.
I'm sure whether or not you like the boards or not, you'll have fun with it either way because it's Mario Party. It's always like that. You'll always have fun with Mario Party, even the bad ones because it's Mario Party.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm really excited for it.
It is what Top 100 should have been.
All right, Mike. How about you?
So my most anticipated game is, of course, Metroid Dread, because I've been waiting for another announcement for Metroid for a long time. Not just Metroid Prime 4, but just anything in general. So we got this game, which is another like 2D Metroid game, like back to the classics. And one thing that I like about this is that it's a direct sequel to Fusion. So it's finally a new game after like 19 years.
I like when they did the FNAF 2 jump scare.
Now, if I remember correctly, this is the first like brand new 2D Metro game in 19 years.
Metroid game?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is considered Metroid 5.
Yeah, the new Metroid game. Yeah.
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 Anywho, no, I think I've never really played any of the 2D Metro games yet. It honestly looks really enticing, and I did some more research on this game, where initially this is supposed to come out in like 2007, 2008, and it was a canceled project supposedly, where the code name was Metroid Dread, and it only came up at one random point, and people thought, oh, it's gonna come out for the DS, it's gonna go out for the DS. It never came out.
Not only that, it was also teased in Metroid Prime 3. That there was like a text or something, like if you scan an object, it'll say current project Metroid Dread is now almost complete or something. And people are speculating this is where it's coming from, like leading up to this.
That's
and
really good.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool reference. And not only that, like this game, since I've played Metroid Samus Returns, it's on the 3DS. It has a similar gameplay style where there is like a parry system, and then like immediately after you parry like a projectile, like you shoot a charge shot or something. Like I think they're gonna really make that system work really well with this game, because it looks really fast paced too. And on top of that, there's like new abilities, I think, with Samus's suit or something. So
yeah, because now she's like part Metroid, if I remember
like
correctly.
you can see it's like veiny and stuff. It's really weird, but we'll get some backstory for it.
Yeah, wasn't that the end of Fusion that we found out, or the beginning of Fusion or whatever, that she's like her suit is a part of her now, like she can't take it off anymore?
Yeah, she got
that sounds
infected.
Awful.
Yeah, she got infected by like some bacteria.
The X parasites. Yeah, I know. I've played this game like 7 times because God, I love Fusion.
She roamed like another planet, like for she was in another planet. She encountered this parasite, and then she had the virus, and then the doctors they did cure her, but at the cost of her suit being like infused within her and like being a Metroid, quote unquote. So
like from what I remember from the beginning of Fusion was that it's exactly as Michael said, or Mike, or whatever. My brain doesn't work. But I think the slight difference was that, from the way I remember it, it was that they had to surgically remove the suit from her because the X parasites had fused it to her body. And so they had to surgically remove her suit, and so it deformed her horrifically, at least skin-wise. And so now the suit is kind of like a part of her because the Metroid DNA sort of fused it to her, it's like nervous system and stuff. So the suit is a part of her now.
That is a lot of crazy lore.
Yup.
Okay. It's really dark, yeah.
Awesome. But all right, I think it's enough on Metroid Dread. I think that was one of the major titles that got people super excited.
Samus looks at a Metroid and goes, "What the dog doing?"
And then the dog becomes a part of her. Now she's part dog.
Another few games that I'm actually super excited for is Monster Hunter Stories 2. That's like my own niche topic that I'm super excited about, mainly because I'm not really a giant fan of Monster Hunter. I tried. The most I have experience is going into Monster Hunter Rise, and I don't know. I just felt like I wanted more of a story mode, something more coherent, and I think Monster Hunter Stories kind of like looked like it was fitting that narrative. A friend of mine who's a giant fan of that series recommended it, and I'm on based on what I saw in the trailers from this presentation, it looked really promising, and I'm hoping everyone else here, who I know for sure has not tried Monster Hunter, will very much enjoy.
I've only tried the demo of Rise, and yeah.
I kind of want to get Rise,
but my real excited one, where I think everyone got trolled because they thought it was Donkey Kong. It's Super Monkey Ball.
I'm happy that it's coming.
I'm okay with it being Super Monkey Ball, but I won't lie that I got trolled.
I would. Sorry.
The moment I saw like certain coins or like the way like the balls were, I got super excited, and then once they did like the space presentation, you just see is it Donkey Kong or is it I? So once I noticed the feature was I started losing it because it's like I was really excited when they first brought it back with Banana Blitz, and it was not that great. It was a really, really bad port, or it was a good port, just not a great game.
I will say that even though I was somewhat disappointed, I'm not mad that we got Banana Blitz we got Monkey Ball, because I think Monkey Ball is actually really fun.
Yeah, no, and the fact of the matter is that this is a collection from all the previous Monkey Ball games, specifically the original ones from the GameCube.
Mm-hmm. And they're remastered too.
Yeah. I am so excited for that. That's going to be coming out in the fall. Like October's going to be packed. I'm super excited for that. And not to mention, because like what also happened in the fall is the new WarioWare game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, Ursa, I thought you'd be more excited for that.
Look, the mini games that they showed were a little disappointing, because it was literally like, you are a character that moves around and influences the stuff on screen. It's like, that wasn't all right. It's like, are we doing this now? Or are we gonna just have a cursor on screen? All right.
It's probably just one of the mini games. You never know.
I hope it is. If they all play that, because that means they all have the same controls. Then just a stick and maybe a button.
The button.
I say have very strong hopes.
I never played Wii U. I never played what was it called in Wii U? Oh, Game & Wario. I never had Game & Wario, and I never played Gold. So the best one to me so far was Smooth Moves.
Fair. All right, I guess another game that I think was also catching everyone's eye was, I just had on my list. Oh yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 5. I think this is the one game a lot of people were looking forward to. The fact that it's finally coming out this year, and then they just I'm not looking forward to the amount of difficulty it's going to bring.
I mean, SMT has had a history of like extreme difficulty with their like RPG style.
I'd say, Mike, Vinyl, y'all are my RPG people. Are y'all excited for it?
Yo,
I'm really excited.
Honestly, I want to try to play the first 4.
But to say, you can technically get the remaster from on 3 that just came out a few months ago from Nocturne.
There's that. But then again, it's also, I'm pretty sure they don't connect story-wise. So
no, it functions like the Persona games. They're each kind of in their own unique story.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Then yes, I'll just play 5 then. The same way I'm doing it with Persona 5.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I love that they showed a ton more gameplay this time around. And I don't know, the fact that it feels real, because I think we waited like at least 4 or 5 years for this to even be coming out.
They first teased it at the Switch reveal, and then like recently last year actually, like in a mini direct, and now right now they're finally have a release date, and it's pretty much fully polished, if I think.
Yeah, so nice.
I'm really looking forward to it.
For me, I think the next title is I'm actually a giant fan of the Advance Wars collection of Advance Wars 1 and 2.
I forgot that was coming out.
I felt like I was like very alone when I remembered what that was based on what they were trying to go for in terms of graphics. I love that game as a child. I'm so glad it got announced, because that game is like, that franchise is just ignored.
I've known about Advance Wars for a while. It's just, it was, I never played it because, I mean, That kind of like
You don't
gameplay
like
style
tactical
isn't my
RPGs.
thing. Yeah, it's not really my thing, but I'm glad it's being revived again.
About to
I
say,
know,
try it out. You'll love
I
it.
know a YouTuber who'd be excited for that.
That is something a game that like I'm sad that it's coming out in December because I want it sooner. Because I'm like, how much does this need? How much graphics?
It's also I think it's made by WayForward, I think.
Ooh.
So they did the Shantae games, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that explains the
Ooh.
animation, honestly.
Oh, that
Yeah.
actually that at least shows that the animations are gonna have a lot of quality to it then.
It was alright.
So I'm actually really, really excited for that. And then I guess let's go for like our final like big one. I know there's a few other ones we missed, but I think it's a good way to wrap it up is Breath of the Wild news.
Oh,
Link
yeah.
Link can have his hair down now.
Link in the green hand.
One good new thing.
Zelda fall down.
Apparently, I'm assuming because the opening shot, I would assume it's Skyloft or something that you're falling from the sky.
There's a giant theory from the trailers that's shown that like characters from Skyward Sword are in it.
Yeah, there could be a connection.
And floating islands, and I think that's also why they're remastering Skyward Sword of all games around this time frame. And some people were kind of bummed on the fact that it's not coming out this year. I don't know what your thoughts on that so far.
I expected it, honestly, so I'm not really too upset about it. As long as they take their time, that's all I really care about. Then they don't need to rush it.
I mean, the original one took like 7 years to make, right?
Well, that's different. But now that they have the assets, I feel like they could speed up a little bit, but just not too much, where it's a rush game. So I feel like this game would probably
I doubt they'd rush it. It would have been released by now if they did.
This is a console seller, dude.
Yeah, this has to be like Game of the Year status, like because I know Breath of the Wild won that one time in 2017. So if they could top it like that too, that'll be really good.
I have a fun theory that it's going to be releasing on the same date as like the 4-year anniversary. No, it'd be the 5th year. The 5th anniversary of when Breath of the Wild 1 came out. And I think that would just align perfectly. And
March 3rd.
Oh, I am so excited. It has a lot of good content.
And then they announced the Switch Pro. We don't know.
And I totally forgot about Smash.
I was gonna say, did we really not care that much about?
We care about Smash.
about Tekken being in it, that we completely ignore it. I thought you were purposely ignoring it.
No, I legitimately forgot. Wow. Okay. I
said it at the beginning.
You know, conversation not needed. That's our feelings about Tekken and Smash. We forgot. That's it. Go home, everybody.
I appreciate that they added the little Tekken sparks for when you hit characters.
Yeah, I like it. Is a Bandai rep, and they also made the game, so it would
put up the tweet of someone saying that the only way Nintendo would lose is that they decapitated Captain Falcon on screen and then put the scene where Captain Falcon falls into the lava. Put that all together. Put the tweet and then the video.
But now this about the new character, now for me at least, this now deconfirms any like Tales of reps or something, because it is a Bandai rep. So
it's Tekken.
No Lloyd.
Tekken. I'm not.
Yeah, one more character. I'm excited. And then at the time of this recording, we have not seen the presentation yet, but it should be coming up soon.
The 28th of June is the presentation.
I think it'd be a good time. And I think, all right, final thoughts on Nintendo, and I think that's about time to wrap it up.
They won E3. I'll say that. Or better yet, they saved E3.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing. I think they took their time and just showcasing franchises like, hey, we know you remember this. Have some more.
Here's the thing. Seeing how E3 went this year, they would have won just by the Smash announcement alone. Because no matter what, someone would have been happy.
Yeah,
no. Yeah,
someone would have been happy. And
I feel like almost everyone was really happy. Ironically, Animal Crossing fans are so upset.
Because there was no news. And they promised, I think, 2 to 3 years of service to Animal Crossing New Horizon.
Yeah, that and Pokemon, but at least Pokemon's still kind of projected.
Pokemon's in a weird state of something right now.
Yeah, but I mean, out of all of it, how would you rate this E3? A good or a bad one overall?
If it wasn't for Nintendo, it'd be pretty bad.
I want to say a solid 5 out of 10.
Yeah. How about you, Vinyl?
I would say it was mediocre.
Yeah, no, the fact like I also think we're like the amount of motivation it has is really, really lackluster.
I had a lot of like high expectations because it is also the first E3 since 2019. So
You
I
think
was
they have a lot?
hoping,
They have a lot
yeah,
more time.
they had more things to
Mhm.
present, but it wasn't
Hey
really the
man,
best.
Microsoft threw it down. Okay, and I just realized I forgot to talk about Psychonauts. I got so excited and I forgot to mention that game. Oh well, that was enough time for.
Psychonauts is Psychonauts. Go move on.
No, it's fine. We're kind of running on time here. So, all right. Thank you to everyone who was listening. I hope you enjoyed this new type of a casual-esque podcast. I'm going to try to continue it in some other essence with more fun topics. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And so until then, I'm Hugo. And I just want to thank my three guests, Vino, Ursa, and Mike.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Just leave it in.
Just leave it. It's fine.
All right. Okay. And so thank you. All right. All right. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.